Hi everyone, I'm Simon from Stampix and welcome to Loyalty Expert Talks. Today it's my pleasure to introduce Boris Helleman. Boris is the marketing manager at T-Mobile for the Netherlands, where he has held several roles in marketing, sales strategy over the past 10 years. Boris and his team's focus on customer loyalty over the past years have resulted in a #1 position for T-Mobile in customer satisfaction and the winning of 3 mobile marketing awards. So needless to say, I'm very excited to bring someone to our table with such in-depth experience in telco. Boris, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hi Simon. Thanks for having me. Doing great. How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Awesome.
So Boris, as an icebreaker, I suggest you quickly present yourself in a couple of minutes, background, experience, role within T-Mobile. Ready when you are.
All right. Well, as a marketing manager, I'm the creative and strategic mind behind numerous T-Mobile campaigns. My experience with award-winning CVM campaigns based on AI, a successful loyalty program, and the development of proposition allows me to focus on customer needs without losing commercial momentum. Next to that, as a workstream lead within T-Mobile, I'm responsible for the LGBT plus policy as part of their CSR program. So, doing quite a lot and having fun at T-Mobile.
Okay, great. Indeed, many different hats that you have to wear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Boris, our next question is a little bit personal. So we're curious to learn if there's a particular brand or product besides T-Mobile, obviously, that you're loyal to yourself. This can be anything from a fashion brand to your favorite restaurant. But when you disclose your choice, it would be great that you explain if it's a rational choice or an economical choice.
All right. Well, I think it's a 100% emotional choice. I'm a big fan of Starbucks. And the reason for that is that well, they have a straightforward loyalty program. Buy a drink and you will get a stamp. And with a full card, you will get a complimentary drink. But the real reason why I'm a fan of this brand is because of the staff that's working over there, the baristas. And what makes it a pleasure for me for being there is during the hustle and the bustle of the day, my barista, Krista, comes over and asks me, Boris, how are you doing? And then asks me, what kind of drink do you want to have today? And on the end, I will get an extra stamp on my card, and maybe an extra more or an extra more when she's having a good day. So why Starbucks? It's of course really tasty. It's personal, not only the handwritten name on your cup, but also the smart conversation that you have. They will know your name, so that's something that's great as well. And most of the time, they are over delivering in service. Tasty, personal, and often over delivering in service.
Excellent, brilliant example. And quick question, is the barista really named Krista? Or
Yeah,
was
she
it just
is.
well, funny? Great. And yeah, she does a great job apparently in making those little conversations with you, which is like the icing on the cake, right? Um,
Absolutely. And I think that's so important for a company. You has to be emotional connected with your clients, and that's something that they are really good in.
yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now, Boris, acknowledging the award-winning campaigns you executed for T-Mobile and the use of artificial intelligence in there, what was your favorite loyalty campaign or initiative, and how did it impact the business?
Ooh, good question, because there are multiple campaigns to choose from. But the thing that pops up directly is the campaign that we launched last December. It was a 9D audio thriller, an awesome experience as a gift for our customers. And as you, of course, can imagine, during COVID-19, it was quite hard to interact sometimes with your customer and give them something. For example, we can't host an annual event day in a theme park for them. It wasn't possible. So, for that reason, we have chosen to give them an experience that they can experience at home via a koptelefoon or a headphone, do I have to say? And by 9D, so that means 9 dimensions, and the sounds came from all angles. And it was a really, well, terrific, great thriller, and our customers really liked it. And the thing is, what we are doing at T-Mobile is reinventing ourselves over and over and over again. We are the challengers in the market. And by doing so, you see that in the techniques that we are using. So that's the reason that we have chosen for a world first, a 9D audio thriller.
Great, thanks. Impressive, and congrats on the results. At Stampix, Boris, we've briefly discussed this previously. We have a concept called the loyalty ladder. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and guide you through. So hold on for a second as I see how this works. Can you see my screen?
Well, it's still loading.
Yeah, so here
there
we
it
are.
is.
Okay, great. So we see two axes here, and one is the NPS, the Net Promoter Score, which we're all familiar with. And on the other side, we have engagement, which is also a big word, of course, but in this case, we mean the amount of participation in the loyalty program. And so when we look at the brands, when we map their NPS score versus their engagement and loyalty program, we can start at the bottom left, where we don't want to be, obviously, and that's what we call inertial loyalty, thinking about customers who have difficulty to switch. For example, government. Okay, it's possible, but you have to take big steps, and often banking is there also. Then moving up, we have what we call mercenary loyalty, where customers, are sort of paid for the loyalty. It's about getting the best deal, and that's also where traditionally telco brands are situated, although I think a lot is changing. But then moving up and more into the more emotional side, where consumers have an emotional connection with brands, this is what we call true loyalty, and customers are willing to overcome certain barriers to get that brand, that fashion brand, that car brand. And then, of course, the holy grail in loyalty marketing is what we call cult loyalty, where customers feel like the brand is part of their identity. So looking at the ladder, Boris, where do you think T-Mobile ranks on this?
Well, I think for the employees that are working for T-Mobile, it is definitely cult loyalty. We all got a big magenta heart, and that's something that you see among our employees. But if you are looking at it from a customer side, I think it's between the mercenary and the true loyalty part. We are moving to the true loyalty part with the action that we have taken in the last couple of years.
Okay, great. And looking at competitors, for example, are you traditionally with T-Mobile outscoring on NPS in the mean or on the backside of the peloton?
Well, I think we are at the front of it, and there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, we have an always-on loyalty program, and that is combining multiple mobile subscriptions or a mobile subscription which is fixed subscription, and you will get an additional discount or additional benefits such as free TV channels. So that's our always-on loyalty program that we have running among our customers. But besides that, we have campaigns during each season where we surprise and delight and inspire a customer, such as the 9D audio thriller I mentioned before. So by doing so, having an always-on campaign, and as well surprise our customers with personal thematic campaigns, you got a good match and a combination to serve your customers.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I think what you said in the beginning is also crucial, is having your own employees involved in the story and the magenta heart. I mean, there's a bunch of employees and everybody knows people. So if they already become your hardcore of believers, that's a very powerful thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. So we briefly touched on surprise and delight rewards. So you've got always on, you've got thematic loyalty. Are there any other initiatives that come to mind? I don't know, rewards around a specific moment, whether it's a birthday or a welcome gift for new customers?
Yeah, of course, we got the birthday campaign. I think each company should have one. It's the basic, the loyalty 101 that you have to have, of course. But within prepaid, for example, we celebrate the lifetime of a customer. When you are 6 months, a year, 2.5 years, 5 years, or 10 years, Each time we will send you a message with a nice congrats and a nice reward to celebrate that moment. Another thing that's quite interesting, I believe, is that we gave our employees from customer service the possibility to send gifts to our customers after they have contact with them. So they can send them flowers, some chocolate, but also a handwritten card. And that is why working at T-Mobile, all the employees love the brand because they love the customers and go that extra mile for them. And that's awesome.
That's great, great. Love the personal card, and I know the Dutch are big fans of written postcards. So good one there. So finally, looking a bit more at the practical side, you've mentioned always on campaigns, thematic campaigns. I mean, it's a bunch of work to execute these loyalty campaigns, right? So how do you approach this from T-Mobile? Do you work with an agency, technology providers, and more specifically for the gifts or the rewards, do you have fulfillment partners, or is everything built in-house?
No. It depends on the campaigns that we are running. So the always on campaigns is done internally. So the program where you will get benefits by combining your contracts. But if you are looking to the more seasonal campaigns, they are done via external partners and also the fulfillment via them. But in the case of prepaid, I think that's quite unique. Our loyalty program, Prepaid Surprise, we are working over 10 years with the same partner, Velti, by doing that.
Wow,
So
that's
a combination.
yeah. So you're actually loyal to your partners as well.
Exactly.
Practice what you preach. Great. Okay, so exciting times ahead, and I feel like there's a lot more to uncover, but we're already approaching the end of the short interview. So before we check out, is there, according to you, someone else in the industry that we should definitely talk to because of their knowledge, or maybe a book or a blog that you would like to reference?
Well, first of all, I want to give you a big compliment for doing so. So thanks for having me
Thank
and this great initiative. I also watched the videos before, some interesting people among them, but I think one thing is missing, a lady. So
Yeah, no,
it's
but
time to have a lady, right?
we have two in the pipeline. Just
Great, great.
someone, yeah.
Awesome. I have a third one for you. That's
Okay,
Mariette Robé-Groskamp from Velti,
okay.
a really inspiring woman in tech. Also, she won several awards, so quite an inspiring person to follow. And also, not a book, but a person, and that's Tony Robbins. And if you are looking at him and listen to him, the most important thing that he is saying, as a person, you have to give, and then you can get. And I think a company has to work on the same way. You have to give something, not only a product, but be there for your customers, and then you will receive whatever you like.
Great, Boris. And with those words, I would like to thank you for giving your time and knowledge to us. And I'd like to conclude this interview. Thank you very much, and have a very nice day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.